Elliot Lenny here reporting for duty, and I gotta tell you, I'm not streaming at the moment, but hey, it's actually good that I actually just do a common reaction, or maybe a reaction that's actually, well, more of my style at the moment because, hey, I just need to make sure that this is out there because, first off, if you want to take a break, play a game, fulfill yourself to be in a fantasy world, you can. But you don't have to play the game if you don't like it and you can move on. But that kind of decision usually gets molded by things people say in social media and then include politics, include ideology, include agenda pushing. Bad. That's not how gaming is supposed to work. Seriously. Sometimes the most serious of gamers have some things to hide, and at the same time, they can actually treasure what they love most if they become so dedicated in it. It just speaks to their character better, not to those who just think that gaming is just another pastime. No way. That's just not how it works. Anyways, I came to this conclusion as I have made sure, okay, to really come to the point that you don't need to play every game that's available. You just need to make sure that you experience it for yourself, you gauge it for yourself, and then move on. Whether you want to play that game in the long run or not, depending on how the game's quality is and how the game's writing is and how the game is structured, it is up to you. But at the end of the day, you have the actual decision. You must make the actual decision for yourself. Nobody else should tell you what to consume. Nobody, except if you have health issues and shit like that. But gaming's a completely different thing. It's in the entertainment industry, and you are interacting with the entertainment industry this way. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that I am just only doing a YouTube only content at the moment, and I'm going to be reacting to something. This is the Elite Lenny channel on my YouTube. These are my most popular ones over here at the moment. These are the ones. Oh, I, I'm still wondering to myself, do I go for the music? Do I go for the music stuffs, even if they're going to be hitting me, with the whatever 1.1s, 534 vaccine malfunction on me. Basically, these are the popular ones on my channel. And for Pete's sake, these are good. These were gaining because trends, basically. But do I always have to go for the trends? Obviously, I should not. Hey, at least this one actually stood out. Another one bites the dust for nuisance streamers. At least that's something. Now, what I'm going to be reacting to today is related to a number of videos that I've been making in regards to a certain topic, and that is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Okay? Assassin's Creed Shadows. I started that I started that with this. Now, here's the thing. I haven't actually put anything in regards to Assassin's Creed Shadows at all, except if I have been giving statements on streams. And what have I been saying when it comes to game development at all? I have been saying that you do have to make sure that your game has structure. Your game must have structure, not just the messaging. I made that stance clear in social media. Okay? If I'm right about that, I actually put it somewhere on my Twitter as well. So yeah. Anyway, the video that we're going to be watching has a QR code of this. And this comes from Smash JT. Okay? The video is called Ubisoft stock crashes down after Assassin's Creed Shadows fails to impress. That is actually not a surprise to me. If the stocks go down, that means prospects for the future of Ubisoft, they're going to be grim. They're going to be absolutely grim. It's already past 1 million players, but I have a feeling that this is only because there are a good number of subscriptions. But they cannot rely on subscriptions alone. They've got to rely also on the physical sales, on the digital sales, full game buys. But if they're only going to rely on subscriptions alone, it will not be enough. They're selling fast. That's actually well intended. They have to sell fast or they won't get anywhere. And right now, they're in trouble. Oh man, they are in trouble. I'm just making sure that things are looking smooth on my sounds before I continue because I think have a bit of a situation here. Okay, I just had to put it to 1 and then it'll be sounding as it should. So I just put it to 1 and that'll be good and that'll be there. Okay. I thought something happened to it. Anyways, you'll be hearing it now, and now we are here. We are actually going to be watching Smash JT's video. Make sure to check out his channel if you want to actually comment down on what you think about the situation in which ugly AAAs are crashing out because they're not being played enough. 1 million across different platforms, right? They got to reach at least 7 to 8 to really just break even. But they cannot depend entirely on subscriptions. I have a feeling they will fall absolutely short. Shorter. Here we go.
Ubisoft stock is crashing down after Assassin's Creed launch. And
oh my God. 9 a.m. to 5. 9 a.m. Oh my God. Holy shit. It's a... Oh, wow. All downhill. What?
Big changes are on the way for Ubisoft. They are completely reeling, and don't let their social media accounts fool you because nope, things aren't looking good and the stock is looking down. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Ubisoft stock in France has dropped nearly 8% in the past week, 7% in one day, and continuing a downward trajectory that has started months ago. And it doesn't look like anything's getting better anytime soon.
And we like to see the very downhill trend that Ubisoft has because they never learned from their mistakes. And now they're going to be bought by the Chinese. As much as I like to see the Chinese burn up, I like to see very irresponsible companies in the West to actually really just take the L and then sell themselves to the Chinese. It is absolutely pathetic. Their decisions did this, and now they're paying for it. They're actually paying for it now.
JT. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down how Ubisoft stock is falling fast. And seemingly no matter what they do, it just keeps dropping. Ubisoft is reeling heading into the first weekend post Assassin's Creed Shadows launch, and it's
already bad enough. There are dips, there are rises, and then there is a big dip. Holy shit.
A brutal hit following. After months, if not years, of marketing hype and controversy, the reality is setting in. This wasn't the comeback Ubisoft had been hoping for at all. The stock has dropped over 7% today.
Hey, Yve. Have you jumped off yet? You know, this is a good chance. You can actually jump off right now. You go right ahead before Tencent buys your ass.
With the week-long slump pushing the total closer to upwards of 10%. A staggering decline, to put it nicely, especially if you consider that this is on top of the downward
Oh
trajectory.
my god.
85% of the value lost in the company over the past 5 years. And coming out with Assassin's Creed Shadows was, by many accounts, the final gasp of air for Ubisoft to have a chance of some sort of success in the grand scheme of the gaming marketplace. And so far, not so good.
And they're going to celebrate the 1 million player count across all platforms, and then they still fail to address the most immediate concerns of the game. They didn't even remove the final boss hip hop, the hip hop track that was not supposed to be there, and it shows up at the final boss. Spoiler warning. Sorry, not sorry. They just don't learn. And yeah, I don't give any sympathy for any of the heads who greenlight that shit.
Despite the cheery tone plastered across the official Assassin's Creed X account, claiming that everything's hunky-dory, the real story happening here is told through the hard data. The developers and PR teams are celebrating over 1 million players and touting the game as the #1 seller on Steam. But these extremely carefully framed talking points are more smoke and mirrors than any kind of genuine success.
#1? I don't believe that for a bit. SteamDB, we are going to check it out ourselves. We are going to see it for ourselves if it really holds up, what they're saying right now. Oh. Oh. Okay, so there are just new players coming in. Ah, now I know why. Okay. Basically, they don't show the lowest. They do not show the lowest. All right, fine. We can understand why this is happening. For the span of 48 hours, this is how it is. The span of 1 week, this is how it is. So basically, it dipped down. The lowest it went is 25,000 because probably players are not playing it anymore. And then there's a rise right now. The all-time peak was 10 hours ago. 47,660. It rose a bit. It did not climb to 48. At least it went to 48, but how long is this going to last? This is only on Steam. We'll see what happens first. And it should come off as something interesting. It should. We will see how much progress they would make from here.
Assassin's Creed on X said, it's not even 4 p.m. here in Canada, and Assassin's Creed Shadows has already passed 1 million players. Which, first off, when I read that, I'm like, Canada has multiple time zones. They're talking about Canada like it's one state that has one time zone. It's like, oh, it's only 4 p.m. here in Canada. It's like, well, what part of Canada? Why would you say 4 p.m. in Canada? Why wouldn't you say 4 p.m. in Ontario or Quebec or wherever the hell this is coming from? Why would you say in Canada? But whatever, it was just weird. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining this adventure in feudal Japan. We are beyond excited to start this journey with you. And then they show a picture saying, thank you, 1 million players and counting. And I gotta be honest, this feels like they had an entire team of lawyers that went through the posts with a fine-tooth comb. Ubisoft doesn't mention how many of those players are from free bundles, Game Pass, or promotional deals.
Exactly. They don't mention those because they want to make absolutely sure to everyone that they're hiding the fact that they're coming from subscriptions or for free bundles at all. To frame it that the 1 million players come as regular buyers. No, it's not. They are inflating themselves, which which makes them liars, absolute liars.
First off, players does not mean sales, and Steam's top seller list ranks by revenue, not by units sold. So saying players here is ultimately meaningless in the grand scheme. A scheme that investors clearly saw
Okay, whatever.
right through, because no major competitors launched any massive games on that same week. Topping the chart was more of the default kind of victory than any kind of meaningful win. Assassin's Creed UK posted, "Excited to be back, ... Full steam ahead, smiley face. Thank you for your support, Assassins," and posts a screenshot of #1 rank Assassin's Creed Shadows. To which friend of the channel Hypnotic replied and ratioed, "For those unaware, Steam charts for top sellers is based on dollar amount. Ubisoft released this game / had pre-orders for this game during a Steam sale, which means a fully priced game going against games that cost $5 will of course outpace anything else currently out there. The Steam sale has ended, so expect to see this game drop fast in the top seller list," which it has. Checking just a day later, it's already fallen off of the #1 position.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
Hypnotic continues, "It also has nothing to do with units, but they hope you don't realize that as well. Dragon Age the Veilguard was a quote-unquote top seller, and we all know how that ended. For a title that reportedly cost hundreds of millions of dollars to develop, the concurrent player counts are underwhelming to say the least, especially when compared to other major AAA releases. The steep price tag and bloated development time were supposed to lead to a blockbuster, at least in Ubisoft's eyes. Instead, it now finds itself in an over 2-hour-long post-game credits roll while simultaneously publicly pretending that all is well, while the real numbers scream otherwise." Grums on Twitter said, "That's it. AC Shadows is toast on PC. Assassin's Creed Shadows Friday numbers peak failed to beat Dragon Age Veilguard Day 2 numbers by almost 25,000. Day 2 is no better
Yeah.
than Assassin's Creed Shadows and does not bode well for Saturday or Sunday. The numbers are well below failed game Dragon Age Veilguard on PC."
Which is actually worse. Dragon Age Veilguard is a failure, but if AC Shadows is more of a failure than Dragon Age Veilguard, that spells volumes. Ubisoft, you keep playing this down. You go ahead. You keep playing this down, you are going to fall off within the same category as Veilguard. Trash.
While console numbers might be higher for the game, the relative comparison to other games on Steam show a very weak performance, sitting at rank 31 of games played. This is quite bad for Ubisoft's flagship product with 300
to 500 million? Oh shit. I thought it's only topping this 300. Oh no. Oh no. Oh shit.
500 million spent on it. The graph for Assassin's Creed Shadows is also somewhat unusual. Unlike the smooth curves of Veilguard, the AC graph has lots of bumps and jinks. I suspect this might be because session times are lower, leading to players quitting faster than Veilguard, and not allowing smooth buildups and ramp downs. But this is only speculation, and he includes 2 photos from the Steam DB showing the Steam charts, concurrent player counts, and how it's a very strange line when you compare it directly to Dragon Age the Veilguard. And my goodness, if you're losing to Dragon Age the Veilguard, you got major issues. And I've talked about this before, how reportedly Ubisoft is shifting gears behind the scenes, trying to position themselves as a video game entity alongside major corporations like Tencent to be able to move forward in the future by potentially co-publishing or somehow making a joint venture to work on Assassin's Creed in the future. Because at the end of the day, Ubisoft just doesn't have the money to continue to do this. Many fans and content creators have already been extremely skeptical after seeing trailers of a game filled to the brim with DEI-approved characters, self-inserts, and the historical rewriting of Yasuke's role in feudal Japan.
Yep.
rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I've played the game for an additional 3+ hours recently, and my game time total is getting closer to about 7 hours altogether. And my takeaway is the same. The more I'm playing this game, the more I'm wondering why I continue to play it. Sure, the graphics look fantastic. I'll definitely give it that. But as far as the gameplay is concerned, I keep finding myself wondering what the purpose of this is. The stealth points of the game are interesting and exciting, but Yasuke is barely anywhere to be found. And I'm looking at it like, maybe Ubisoft went back to the drawing board after all the backlash from the community and Yasuke being injected as a DEI insert into this game and realizing, oh shoot, maybe we should not have this guy in there as much as we did. We realize that the community has picked up on our agenda and it's a very bad look. So now we have a game with quote unquote 2 main protagonists where you're playing as one protagonist basically the entire beginning of the game. And you're left wondering why Yasuke was even a part of this in the first place.
Yeah.
As far as the storyline is concerned, it's not interesting in the slightest. I'm having a very hard time finding myself in a position to care about what any of the characters say. And that goes beyond the atrocious English voice acting that continues to perpetuate itself through the experience. Just trying to step back and take that out of it, for the gameplay itself, I don't really care about the story there.
Well, my train of thought is lost. Not entirely, but hey. Let's continue.
They're presenting.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
Mushrooms. The smell of dirt, grass, and rain.
Never mind the fact that they're
Yeah. Never thought that we would come on, Ubisoft. You never thought we wouldn't catch that, huh? Maybe try to regulate the AI voices. Fine. Look, I got no problem when it comes to AI voices being used. My problem is if they remain unrefined from the time they are processed, and you guys don't even make an effort to make it realistic as speech. Use your sound engineers better. Stop cutting corners and pay people what they should, how they should be paid, so that even if the price gets bumped because of the more expensive production, but it at least comes as a better trade-off, right? This is not a good trade-off. For $70, you're insulting us. You're absolutely insulting us, Ubisoft.
trying to be emotional, but yet some of the, I'm not going to spoil it, but things that happen in the game seem to happen out of order. It's before you even care about a character that something even happens to them, and then you have a pre-story after the post-story to go back to, oh, this is why you should care about that character. And I'm left here wondering who the writers were for this, who organized the story and development of it, because so much of it, at the end of the day, just doesn't make any sense at all. What was once a grounded franchise rooted in stealth and immersive world building has turned into yet another checkbox-heavy narrative experiment that one main protagonist literally has nothing to do at all with being stealthy. And now, the stock crashing and fan trust eroding even more, Ubisoft is staring down a future that they can no longer ignore.
By the way, if you guys get the chance to check out my channel as well, make sure to leave a like on this video, get to my channel and subscribe, and then make sure to click the notification bell so that you can be notified of all things that I actually post on YouTube, reactions, any short updates, any blogs that I might actually do, so that you can actually see that I react to these things. I react to internet trends. I react to games. I definitely farm for the downfall of companies that fail to just see what their audience really wants. And now that they are failing, this is the result of it. This is exactly the result of it. Okay?
But in the meantime, sure, keep giving your money to sponsor Hassan all the way down. It lines up perfectly with the ideologies being pushed by Ubisoft anyways. But in all seriousness, this week's financial fallout proves that Ubisoft cannot possibly continue down this path any further. The numbers don't lie, and the excuses aren't going to hold. The only question now is, will Ubisoft be able to course correct before it's too late? And like usual with stuff like this, yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I will link this in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
I am fine. This is fine.
This is not just embarrassing. This is already telling of how Ubisoft is going to. Yeah. I have no hopes on Ubisoft's future. We knew this would happen. We absolutely knew this would happen. They were warned about things in relation to, okay? Things in relation to just seriously what they needed to fix from the game, and they did not fix the game. We called it. We all called it. We absolutely called it. Okay? We absolutely did. And let me just tell you, I am just glad that we're really seeing the consequences they're now facing for not listening. It's really, really satisfying to see that they're now facing the consequences for it. It's really funny.